everyone, it's Saturday afternoon and we have finally arrived in Devon. It probably took us about 5.5, maybe 6 hours to get here with a few little stops on the way. And our holiday cottage is really nice. It's really big. It used to be an old bed and breakfast and they converted it into a holiday cottage. So the house itself is really spacious, the rooms are big, there's loads of bathrooms and lots of places for the kids to explore, and the garden is really nice as well. So I didn't want to show you what I kind of like packed in my little carry-on bag, simply because it's pretty much the same as last time. However, I did start a new project last night, probably about 10 o'clock. I just had the urge, as you do. I wrote back an old project and kind of started a new one. So I brought that along with me. I'm going to show you kind of like what I'm doing with that. So this is the old project. Excuse like there's towels and stuff on the bed. We've literally just got here. My husband, father-in-law and the kids have just got out for a walk. So this is like the old project that I've kind of started tearing back to make use of this yarn. And then this is what I've started doing. I'm just making kind of like a slouchy kind of cardigan. That was the idea when I started this. This was just half double crochet here. And then this, what I'm doing, I'm kind of doing like a combination of stitches. I'm doing like a half double crochet, single crochet and a treble crochet using a 6.5mm hook. And obviously I've brought along the baby cardigan. I finally kind of got to a point where I've separated the sleeves now. So I worked on this pretty much the whole drive. It took so long just to kind of get to the point where I needed to separate the sleeves to the front of the body. And then I also have with me the little, she's in here somewhere, doll as well. I won't get her all out because she's in kind of bits at the minute. So I've completed both arms and one leg. I took a break with this one because it was just starting to hurt my fingers. I get really sore a bit here. I tend to get a bit of a, I'll say it's like a callus kind of pop up on my finger. Excuse my really horrible nails. Obviously I've brought my book Queen of Shadows, still reading that. And then we actually had to stop off in a little town because we were a little bit early, and we went to a charity shop. And you can't take me to a charity shop without me picking up, or at least having a look at the books. And I was so excited to see that they had a few historical romances. I've got a very small collection of historical romance, and these ones just looked really cool, so I picked those up as well. I might have a little read of these while on holiday, actually, one of these. I'm not too sure which one takes my fancy first. So that's it so far. Like I said, the kids have gone out for a walk with Grandad and my husband. So when we come away to like a cottage or anything like that, we normally come with my father-in-law and his little dog Charlie. And we are currently waiting for the food shop to arrive. That's booked between 6 and 7. So this week I'll probably just do something really similar as I did with camping. Just take you along for some days out, not every day, just a few days, show you little bits of scenery and things like that, and kind of do little maybe catch-ups if I have any good progress with my knitting and crochet. So yeah, hopefully next time I catch up with you will be probably tomorrow. So here we go, time for a little holiday house tour. So the house that we're staying in is called Keeper's Cottage, and it has these little steps that you go down. And then into the double front door, and then there's just like this little kind of like hallway area, and this is the living room. So it's nice and spacious. It had a really lovely fireplace, which obviously we didn't use. And then there were two sofas and a couple of armchairs, and it was really a nice kind of space to sit and unwind. Only downside is it did have quite a horrible musty smell, which we later worked out was actually the blinds. So we just kept the windows open all the time that we were in there. And then as you go through back out into the hallway, down here is the kitchen, which again is really big, especially for a holiday cottage. And look at the size of that fridge. Everywhere we've been, they've had tiny fridges. So nice big oven, nice big area to kind of cook. And then go through here. That door there leads to the utility room. Then there was a little downstairs toilet. All the loos had like these little signs. And then through here was the dining room. Again, a huge dining room with a big table and chairs. Those chairs were so heavy to move. I'm just going to head back through here. The stairs. And here we are, a really big long landing. So we've got a little shower room here. This is the one that my husband and I tended to use the most, just because it's got a little standalone shower. And then through here was a little TV room. We never actually used this. And through here was our room. Nice size room, nice size bed. Lovely view of the garden as well. Hallway a little bit was the family bathroom. So this is kind of what we use as like the kids' bathroom because it's got the bath in it. And then this is the room that the kids stayed in. So because they're still quite liable to fall out of the bed, we pushed the beds together, and they both had a little guardrail put on each side so that they didn't fall out, particularly Daisy because she rolls around so much when she's sleeping. And again, a lovely nice view of the garden. And then a quick little pop in here. So this is the room that my father-in-law stayed in. He tends to get, I suppose, the best room in the house because he always wants to have an ensuite toilet. So this is the room that he stayed in. And now we're going to head down out into the garden. So here is the garden. It was such a lovely garden, and just look at the view. Everywhere is just surrounded by farmers' fields, and it was so quiet. You could hear like the birds chirping, just the wind rustling the trees. Such a lovely, sort of like peaceful area to be. So many little places to kind of like sit and enjoy a little bit of peace. These little steps, and you can kind of go back towards sort of a bit more of the garden. Over here is a little field. There is a horse and sheep that would roam this field. So nice, like looking out the window and seeing the sheep kind of like run around. they actually had some apple trees. And a little space to sit down as well. Again, more views of all the like farm fields around. Look at the size of some of these apples. Also, there was a little nighttime guest that would come into the garden most of the evenings. We do have some footage of him. Hello everybody, it's now Wednesday. We've had quite a busy few days. So we, what was it, day one we went off to Ilfracombe and spent the day kind of like wandering around there and the beach. And we also went to Combe Martin the same day, which was another beach just down the road. The kids like spending a lot of time at the beach, which you'll find is a bit of a trend throughout this vlog. And then, what was it, on Monday we drove all the way down to Cornwall. As we're staying in Devon, my husband thought we're quite close to Cornwall and there's a few places in Cornwall that he wanted to visit just for kind of nostalgic reasons. So we went all the way down there on Monday. It's about an hour and a half, just over an hour and a half. We drove and we went to Boscastle. And then on to Trebarwith Strand, and the weather that day was very overcast and it kind of like was raining on off, and then we kind of got rained off the beach towards the end, and the kids spent most of those 2 days kind of like rock pooling. Ed absolutely adores kind of like spending time by any body of water with a net and a bucket or a fishing rod, just kind of like dunking it in, trying to catch any like little fish that he can find. And then yesterday, which was Tuesday, we spent again another afternoon down by a river. The river that we went to, I can't remember the name of it. When I find it, I'll pop it on the screen. But the place was called Tar Steps. So it's like a little kind of like stone bridge over a little kind of rocky river. And again, we spent the whole day there just enjoying the sunshine. It was actually really hot yesterday, and the kids spent the whole time kind of like splashing around in the river, again catching loads of fish and crayfish. They had some really big crayfish in the river. I think they're probably the American crayfish, which are an invasive species here. And I think my husband was saying, technically I think we're supposed to kill them, but I don't think we'd be doing that. And then like progress wise with my projects, I had to rip back my blue baby cardigan today. I realised that I was kind of like running out of yarn, and this particular pattern that I was following is one by Pearl Soho, which is a paid pattern, and it's very similar to the Gina Michele one except slightly different. And I started to realise that I think I'm going to run out of yarn. So I've ripped all of that back and started to follow the Gina Michele one, which in general is a lot smaller. So I did rip that back and start that in the car this afternoon. And then last night I did finish constructing our little Gracie doll. Here she is. So this whole body is supposed to be kind of like a slip, but I ended up doing her whole body as like this nude colour. The construction for this is not my favourite. Basically, you kind of, obviously everything's crocheted flat, like the body is crocheted flat and these are all in the round. And then you basically place right sides together and then crochet, like single crochet all around the outside, and you have to like put the arms inside, crochet them in, all the bobbles in and the legs. Yeah, it was not my favourite. She is worth it. She looks lovely. She's so cute, even without her face detailing. But yeah, I think if I was to make her again, I definitely would probably sew her together. I mean, she looks very neat, but it wasn't fun to do. But I stuffed her, and then you basically, this is like an open seam, you stuff her, and then seam this bit shut, like sew this shut, and like that to me looks really neat. So I'd probably just sew her together again. So I'm just starting kind of like work on the like dress for her. That looks like it should work up quite quickly. I've already done like the little front panel, and then what else do I have? Let me just show you. So progress with the little blue cardigan. Again, you can see ripped that back, started that again. So we're just going to leave that to the side and ignore that one. And then my other crochet project is this. Let me just pull that a bit longer. Is this one here. So I'm kind of, say, having a go at maybe creating a little bit of a pattern. We'll see how it goes, and I'll let you know if anything comes of it. But the idea is just it's going to be like a nice oversized cardigan. I'm using a combination of half double crochet, single crochets through the back loop, and then treble crochets. And I quite like the texture that it's creating. This wool that I've bought, this yarn I've got, is a mixture of wool and acrylic. It was a special buy from Aldi quite a while ago, so it's not one that is around anymore, and I think it's an Aran weight yarn as well. And this was just a half double crochet like cardigan that I had started ages ago and just never got around to finishing. And I'm just kind of ripping that back to repurpose the yarn for that one. But yeah, that's kind of like, I pick and choose like what I want to work on in the car, like on our way, like on our days out. I took the little blue cardigan with us today, and that's when I realised that I was running out of yarn and had to rip that all the way back. So that's that one. And then I've just kind of been working on Gracie, like in the house in the evenings, doing that very slowly. So yeah, that's all like the progress I've got to kind of show you guys at the moment. We've got a few more days left here. I don't know what we're doing over the next few days, but hopefully you're enjoying the vlog. If you are, please give it a little thumbs up. But yeah, I'll probably speak to you again either on another day or when we're back home. home from holiday. We got home late Saturday afternoon, probably about 4:45 by the time we dropped my father-in-law off, popped in for a cup of tea, and then driven back to ours. Yesterday we kind of just spent the day like doing things as you do. Had to go food shopping because we had no food in the house, and my husband went and took the box back to his dad's house to keep in the garage there, and then he also took the kids to the park as well. And then yesterday we just kind of, I suppose, recovered from a week of just doing stuff every single day. It was such a nice kind of getaway, and I hope you enjoyed sort of all the footage from that. Project wise, I suppose I didn't really complete anything while I was away. So obviously we have like a completed in construction Gracie doll. I still need to put her face on. That's my task kind of like for this week, I think. Get her sort of sorted and ready for Daisy's birthday in a couple of weeks. But I did kind of finish doing her little dress, which turned out really sweet. I just need to kind of like weave in the ends, and then I think I just need to put some little buttons on the front here, and I need to make her some shoes, and then I was going to make her sort of like another dress, and another pair of shoes, and maybe a little bag. So that shouldn't take too long. Like I said, with that one I've got about 2 weeks to kind of go before I kind of like have that as a deadline to be completed. But the one project that I really wanted to kind of mostly get finished was that little blue baby cardigan, especially as I had to rip the whole thing back and start again. I did finish knitting that in completion yesterday, and I finished seaming that as well today. The only thing I need to do is basically put the little tie details on the front here. So it's a lot smaller than it would have been if I had followed the Pearl Soho pattern, and it just, in general, it just works up a lot quicker. So once I've put the little like tie details on that and done the applique for that, I'll share that maybe in another video. I was thinking of doing a little rainbow on that, if you remember correctly, but I can't seem to find any of my red yarn. I know I had a really small ball of it like in my drawers, but I can't seem to locate that. So I thought maybe I could just do like a little star like on the back, like in the middle. I don't know, we'll see, because it's blue. I thought maybe like a little yellow star might like look quite cute, and then get that blocked. So the girl that this is for, I don't think she's going on maternity leave until October, so I do have a little while to kind of get this finished. However, I just want it done so that I know that this is done and her bear is done, so that I can then concentrate on the other baby gift that I've got to work on. So I have started that yellow cardigan again. I'll share that in another video, and I haven't decided what kind of cuddly I'm going to be doing for that baby. I might just stick with the same bear, but do it in a different colour, or do it in that same kind of like chocolatey brown, but with like maybe a little pink bow. Maybe I won't put it on the neck, maybe I'll pop it on her ear, because she is having a little girl, so that might be a little bit more kind of like cutesy. And then with that little green cardigan that I did start, I didn't get much further along with that. So we are kind of like a few rows in with that project. So yeah, everything that I've kind of been doing this past week. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this vlog. Please let me know in the comments below if you have enjoyed kind of like spending our holiday with us, and if that's the sort of thing that you might like to see from time to time. We tend to go away a few times a year. We haven't got anything else booked for the rest of the year as of yet, but we do tend to kind of go away October half term, and we always like to go to the New Forest, which is kind of like our family's place that we always love to go and visit. It holds a really special place to all of us, sort of like in all of our hearts, so we always like to go back there at least once a year. And since I've been with my husband, we have gone to the New Forest every single year but from one. So we might go there in October. We haven't got, like I said, I haven't got anything booked yet. But yeah, let me know if that's something that you're interested in seeing. Otherwise, please give this video a little thumbs up. Like I said, it does really help out my channel, and please hit the subscribe button as well. and then I will see you all again in my next one.